Here we're going to continue on with activity 1.1.5, and we're going to talk about the compound gear train scenario. This is numbers 5, 6, and 7. So here is what we have going on, is we have a compound gear train composed of 4 gears, A, B, C, and D. Gear A has 10 teeth and is meshed with gear B. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of draw that here. Here's gear A, and it's going to be meshed with gear B. C and B are going to share the same axle, and B has 20 teeth, and gear C has 16 teeth, and then C is going to be meshed with D. And D, we don't know what our number of teeth is. So again, 16 teeth for C, 20 for B. Put that kind of down there at the bottom. Gear A, just because we run out of room, they give us a little bit more with power. Power is supplied to gear A with 100 foot-pounds of torque, and it's traveling at 1600 RPM. So here, maybe off to the side, I'll put the input torque is going to be 100 foot-pounds, and our angular velocity is 1600 RPM. And that's really all we need for our illustration. So number 6 says the necessary output torque for the system is 500 foot-pounds. What is the gear ratio for the system? Well, the easiest thing to go through and take a look at with this is anytime you can find a gear ratio, I already know they say they gave us what the output torque needs to be, and they gave us the input torque up here in the problem. So all I have to take a look at is substituting in 500 foot-pounds for the amount of output torque, 100 foot-pounds for the input. That means it's going to reduce down to 5/1. Our gear ratio is 5:1. So that one's pretty simple. As we take a look at the next problem, number 7, dealing with the compound gear train. This one is a little bit different scenario. With a system torque output of 500 foot-pounds, how many teeth should gear D have in order to make sure that we can have that? So here's the thing I'm going to take a look at. Gear ratio over 1 is equal to, and we're going to look at number of teeth out over the number of teeth in. But for a compound gear train, if you take a look at your formula sheet, you have two kind of scenarios. You have a B to A multiplied by a D to C, and that's equal to your gear ratio over 1. So here's what I'm going to set up here. We already know the gear ratio, so I'm going to kind of use the right side of this box to plug in what I know. So gear B has 20 teeth, A has 10, D is what we're looking for, and C has a value of 16. And that's equal to our gear ratio, which is a 5/1. So if I go through and look on this side and kind of look along these lines, I'm going to kind of move down here just a little bit. So 20, so again, dealing with fractions, I got 20 times D over 160, which is equal to 5:1. Then I go through and I can start to kind of cross multiply, divide. So you do need to simplify on this left side a little bit. So here, if I go through and if I take a look, 160 times 5 would be 800, which is equal to 20D divided by 20, and D is going to give us 40